Now, how many of you know Scott McKay? Okay. But before we introduce him, last night we had a great video, did we not? We had from Jim Caviezel. He hopped on. That was kind of cool, right? That was kind of cool. We have a message from Joe Biden here. Can you pull it up here? This is Joe Biden's most recent press conference that I could find. Could you cue it up there? Do we have it on the big screen? Can we go to the big screen? Hit play, please.
I saw that made me aware when I was in law school. Proudly for Holloway. Proudly for your dad. First African-American state senator in the state of Delaware. Everything about. And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap. And I tell you what, the men, they're now all men, the guys I work with down here.
Pause.
And they're all guys at the top.
I have to ask the question. Do I live in like a parallel universe where that makes sense? Can we go back, Julia, just 10 more seconds? I want to go back to that. I just want to, no, hey, listen. I'm like the John Madden of Joe Biden. It's like code. Let's play it one more time. I just want to make sure we don't miss.
They're all good men. Most of them made an awful lot of themselves. And Earl Larkin had a rough time. And some of you knew Earl. I came back as a public defender.
What you just
pause.
said.
That was the most intelligent thing Joe Biden said. Who's watched that video before? How are we putting these people in office? It's unbelievable. I get it. So what we do is if you start researching, right, the truth, you discover that we did not vote for somebody like this. And then if you click on the next thing and the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, eventually all roads lead to Scott McKay. Am I correct? And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce to you Scott McKay. Here we go, folks. Let's hear it for him one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. Come on. Let's go.
Hold the fork in line. Do we have any Patriot Street Fighters in the house? Ladies and gentlemen, Jackson is a powerhouse. I had a conversation with him last night, and the good news for him is that Senator Paul Lankford has just walked into the crosshairs of the Patriot Street Fighter. Which means what? For Lankford, it means game over. There will be an army in Oklahoma that we're going to drive to those polls to bring down another rhino. And by the way, if you happen to be the Senate leader rhino here in the state of Oklahoma, I'm coming next week. That 10th Amendment bill is not going to get held up any longer because the people of Oklahoma who are Patriot Street Fighters are coming now. We will offer them the peace pipe, and if they will not accept peace, then we have to bring our war, right? So listen, folks, I'm going to tell you, we have tonight an incredible guest for you. I got a chance to learn a little bit about him recently with his film Out of Shadows. I've been talking to him backstage. That's right. This is a guy who I couldn't feel more worthy to introduce. It's quite an honor. You know, in our world, there's every once in a while down in front. So every once in a while, there comes along somebody who is willing to go against the current world orthodoxy when they see things that are not right. And they set out to make a change in that world. You know, in some of your lifetimes, you probably know of two distinct people who have done that stood against the whole world to make a wrong right. One of those people was Martin Luther King Jr., and the other was Ronald Wilson Reagan, right? And I will say this, we have another one. And this is a man who in his world was willing to go up against a juggernaut, a behemoth, a hegemony. And that is the twisted machine of Hollywood and pedophilia and trafficking. And he took a career from the ground up, built for decades as an incredible stunt man, a stunt coordinator, a director, a writer, and his entire career was in the palm of his hands when he made his decision. And he said, at every personal cost, at all personal costs, I'm going to take on a war of one of the most evil machines that exist in the world today, and that is the Hollywood machine. So I am honored to give to you a Hollywood Patriot street fighter, Mike Smith.